Hi, my name is Elaine Terry, and I'm a proud mom of an autistic child. Today, my heart is broken. I work very hard with my son. He doesn't know that he's autistic. I don't raise him to think that he has a disability, but I do raise my son to know that he is special and that he has super strengths. Um, so, this plea right now is I really need everyone's help. I don't know what else to do. Social media seems to be the only way to get through to people. Um, where did I begin? My son started his first job. This would have been a month as far as 30 days calendar, working with Pizza. And the hiring manager understood that my son has autism. He knows that he has disabilities. One of his biggest disabilities is processing. And that means that when you explain something to him, it has to be either simplified. He needs to be, he stutters. He has a problem processing what you say to him, getting it back, translating it back to you. And so this was understood. And I was grateful when the manager hired my son for his very first job at 16. So we got him prepped, bought the clothes and everything. And, they would bring him in on Fridays, which is really busy days for pizza places. And they would bring him in at 5, which is also very busy time to be training someone. And they would bring him in from 5 to 6, 5 to 7. I think the longest shift he's ever worked there is maybe 4. He may have worked 1 4-hour shift. Nevertheless, he comes in and he works 2 hours Friday, maybe an hour and a half on Saturday, 2 hours on Sunday because they're not busy. And I get it, I get it. And at first I was like, why like this? And I was okay with it because, with his disability, this, maybe working a couple hours, they can work up to him. So anyway, it's now been a total of maybe 20 hours my son's worked, and he was cut loose today. And it bugged me because the guy told me that my son's speed is not fast enough. But like I said, they knew he came in with a disability. They knew that he's autistic. And why not work him, instead of sending him home when it's slow, why not bring him in when it's slow to allow him to learn the job at a pace that will be comfortable for his level? Why? Why bring somebody with a disability at the busiest time when you don't have time to work with them? Don't tell me you're going to work with them. Get them there and then do them the way they just did my son. Now, I could be that angry mother, and I could go in there, and I could yell, and I could scream, and I can say all the things that moms should say when it comes to protecting their kids, but I won't. Because what good would that do my son? What good would it do me? I'll go in a store, and I'll just look like an angry black woman yelling at a manager. So I'm seeking the help of the people. People with autistic kids, people with special disabilities, people with family with special disability who have to send their kids out there and their family members into the world to be treated like this. And he's only 16. And I have to talk and explain to him the things that just happened to him today. And he was scared. He was nervous. He was scared that what we would say or what we would feel. And he shouldn't feel that way. And I explained to him, I said, baby, there are good managers and there are bad managers. There's good trainers and there are bad trainers. And you just happen to get a bad trainer. Because anyone with any common sense, sweetheart, would never bring you in the busiest time to train you. They should have brought you in when they were sending people home saying, hey, it's slow, we don't have any business. That's the time he should have been brought in to train. Now, he gets in there, he went to work, he's always 15 minutes early. So he was at work almost 2 hours, probably an hour and a half based on clock in. And so they have him do dishes. And so the store is run by a bunch of kids. The manager let the teenagers run the store. I think the youngest manager is maybe 17, 18, I don't know. And so apparently they told James to do the dishes. So my son explained to me, Mom, I was doing the dishes. He told me how he used a detergent to set up the soap in the sink, and then he couldn't find stuff. Anyway, without going into details, he started to do the dishes. And he says, Mom, they put me on a timer. They told me 20 minutes. He said, but I never saw the clock change. And he said, it made me feel bad inside. I said, well, what's wrong? Did you feel bad in your stomach? He said, no, I feel bad right here. And that's the best way he can explain it. I'm thinking, oh my God, my 16-year-old baby is experiencing anxiety. They know his issue. Why bring him in at 5 o'clock on a Friday night and then rush him? And then when he does do the dishes, they say the dish is not done good enough. Do it again. And my son said, and I'm proud, he said, I don't, they told him, do it again. He said, no, I don't give a crap. The guy says, no, do it again, James. He's like, I don't give a crap. He was angry. He was upset. He felt bullied. And I'm thinking, and the manager explained to me, he says, well, we had two people helping him. And he's just, he just got upset. And yes, he had a right to be frustrated because you guys are awful trainers. So I'm begging anyone and everyone who has a child with a disability to stand up and boycott Pizza, because how is it that you know you have a child with a disability? And the manager told me, I called him. He told me that my son was upset, told me what my son said. My son told me what he said. But I remember speaking to this manager. I've been going to this business for 15 years, giving this place 15 years worth of my business. And I've heard stories that this man has told me about the kids he's trained who had issues and personality problems. My son has worked a total of 20 hours an entire month. And he says one time, I don't give a crap. And he tells me to tell my son, we don't want him back here. Well, you know what, Pizza, we don't want your pizza. Because that's a punk ass thing that you just did. And social media will show you how we feel when you mistreat our children, our young, and our disabled. We will not have it, and I'm begging for everyone to make this viral now. Thank you, world.